Good afternoon, traders. This is AJ Trader 7 at Awesomecallstrading.com. And this is today's recap review of what we did in the morning action and actually what we've been trading throughout the day. It was, again, a great day. Today, we had to work a little bit harder to find our plays. But once we did, it was very rewarding for those that came in the chat room. And I'm going to go over a handful of them that we did. It was a lot. It was just a lot of fun. We had to it was kind of like you had to get going, let the setup, and then boom, it was on fire after that. Yesterday was a little bit more easier, with light coming up 10 points, 8 points, and then smashing another trade. But we did have, I believe it was auto parts. Gave us a nice play in pre-market for about 6 points, and I'll show you that one as well. It was just, overall, it's been a very profitable day. Very easy to hit all of our goals. Again, our goal in the room every day is $500 a day. If you can make more than that, great. We're not here to hit home runs, but I'm going to definitely show you quite a few setups that if you were in here, you would have made good money compared to where maybe you're trading elsewhere. But let's start off by let's start off with our number one pick this morning, VXTX, positive phase 2 study. And basically this is regurgitated news. It's already newsed out. Now, yesterday I was really emphasizing to you, all of you, to here's my Twitter feed, AJ at the real AJ Trader 7. And I was really emphasizing to a lot of you to follow this gentleman, and I can't stress it enough. And I want you to look for a moment what he commented this morning. Are you ready? And a lot of you that don't follow him should be following him, because Jason does such intense research, pre-market and aftermarket, that it's hard not to make money on what he does. And if you want to see how we made money based on his comment, I want you to look in pre-market what he wrote. See this? And this information was already released on September 18th. Be cautious on the long. That's all he needed to say. That's it. And he said it at 5:30 this morning, before the market even opened. So what does that mean for me as a trader? I never second guessed Jason. Okay? He basically put that in my lap this morning. So what did I do? I made it the number one pick in the room. Okay? And here's the number one pick. Gapping up 4, this is nothing more than a pop and a fade to 12.50 and under. Higher it pops, more money you add, just take it to 12.50 and under. Nothing more. I'm not going long the stock. I have no interest in the stock. So I want you to see how the stock worked out. So if you would have came in, took 1,000 shares of VXTX, you would have been done at the opening bell at $14. You could have done $12 in 1 hour and made over $2,000 on one trade. It was all laid out for you. It gave you the entry and where to exit, what to look for, and where the stock is going to go, and the reason why. This is trading. This is what makes a trader money every day. When you see people send out a review, he did it again, oh, the room gave me this, it's because we understand these type of plays. That's what we do. This is what makes us different than every chat room in the world, and will continue to. Everybody was thinking, oh my gosh, long. Everybody wants to long the stock. We come in here, read through the news, and that's what we do well. We read through the news. And by reading through the news, it enables a client to come in on their first day and make money. And this was a short. I had some clients come in here and say, I want to long the stock, and I just kept saying, don't long it. There's no long in this stock. And sure enough, it paid the bills. So that was a really, really nice trade. And everyone should thank Jason for that, because he didn't have to put that, but it's an honor that he's in our room every day, and he informs. He's very informative. So thank you. The next trade I want to go over was ABMD, and a gentleman by the name of P. Smith in our room gave me this trade yesterday because he knows I love this stock. And yesterday he was kind enough when the stock hit around here to he said, AJ, is there any overnights you want? And I love overnights because I love to wake up to cash. And if I don't wake up to cash, then I'll wait for the pop out of the gate and I'm going to get cashed out. And this was just, now if you look, this one got crushed last night, yesterday from 390, 400, all the way down. I'm going to look at 330 next, Edwin. Thank you. This thing got crushed all the way down to 330. It lost $68 a share. Okay, so before you leg down, another leg down, you've got to gap up a little bit. You've got to let shorts cover, get them a chance to cover. And so when I see something this aggressively pushed down, I love to overnight those stocks. That's I'm huge on that. And P. Smith, who's been in our room for about 60 days, he knew that. He's like, oh, this is an AJ trade. I mean, and he took the trade himself. But I believe he was waiting for me to execute, and I surely did. I went live, and I started executing the trade. I started around 340 yesterday, and I started adding all the way down to 337 into close. So I had a nice average. And then this morning, as you can see, it gapped up a little bit. You see that? So I could have cashed out pre-market at 342, but I knew that I would probably get a pop out of the gate, and I wanted more. And if you find my feed, I actually sold at $346, and it went to 351. But again, it's all about base hits. All right, this is a home run to massive crowds out there. But to AJ, this is just another base hit. And this is how I love to start my mornings. So if you just imagine 100 shares popping 6 points, you're done. $600. You're done for the day. That's it. Done. 500 a day, 5 days a week, 2,500 bucks, 10,000 a month. You don't have to work anywhere else. You could just be your own boss. Okay? So that was my overnight trade, ABMD. This morning, I also took a stock called Roku. Now, Roku I love taking. And the reason is because I actually think we've kind of found bottom down here after the earnings report. And I look for it to bottomed out the 40-50 area. But this morning, the market was actually gapping up. We were up like 140 points, and then we got down to 80. But I felt that Roku would probably pop right out of the gate, and I bet money on it that it would. And I was looking for a clean 1 point on the trade. And so what I do, when I also execute a trade in the room, not only do I put it in the chat logs, but I make it very clear, even in pre-market, to let traders know what I'm doing. Roku, I like to see this pull at the open, maybe in 39s today. But for now, I would like to go long. I took some long at 41.86. I will add it into the dip, and I'm looking for a pop towards 43 right at the opening, and then fade it down. And that's really what the call was. And what I do is I really try to emphasize, I love to give entries. You know, you can't be in a room and pay the money you pay if somebody's not at least giving you the entry and the exit of the trade. And this is what I do. And so I took best Roku 41.86, and as you can see, the stock shot up right out of the gate 1 point. And you can see my actual, what I love to do too is I'm very proud, of course, of my trades and the way I trade every day. And if you go to my Twitter feed and scroll down, you will see the actual trade itself, the exit with decent size. And it's right here. These are traders that made tons of money in the room, and they love to tweet. Anyway, you can see right here and right there, 41.86 and 42.54, and my overnight was 346. Okay, so that one turned out to be a solid play. I love it. And every morning when you want to know what I'm looking at, I get up at 4 o'clock every morning Pacific time. I'm on the West Coast. and I spend hours preparing for the members in the room. I look at every member as a client, and I try to earn their business. I don't expect their business. I just try to earn it every day, and I try to deliver the best product out there for them. Um, and if you're a monthly subscriber, you have a room to all of our archives and so forth. And what I try to do on this one, every morning I like to give the traders in the room an idea what I'm looking at for the morning. And so I always do this at 5:30 every single morning. And it also gives the other chat rooms that don't know how to trade, it gives them an idea to copy what I'm going to do. And you'll find a lot of these rooms will actually trade the same thing I'm doing because most of them subscribe to our room anyway, and they just follow my lead and off the notes. So, but if you want it firsthand, this is the room to go to. Okay. So that's what I did there. All right. So I wanted to show you that. Oops. Sorry about that. So Roku turned out to be a nice solid play, entry, exit, and so forth. The next trade that we did on our great list was a stock called, I could pick any of them, but Very. Actually, I'd like to show you Sage before I go to Very. Sage was a beauty. Sage got an underperformed rating from Linux, and I liked it. And I checked out the stock, I charted it, and I felt very confident this stock would have a nice sell-off today, especially if the market pulling. So I informed the traders in the room, hey, the stock is gapping down 3 points, but there's no MMs on it. Market makers weren't really on it. They would just set a price at 119, but there was nobody actually buying or selling stock on it. So what I made a decision was that the stock was going to most likely pop at the open. And the reason is, and I'll show you why. Okay, so this is the Sage setup right here. And this is yesterday's close right here. And what I look for is I want to gap fill a bit. I have a lot of short sellers in here that woke up to 3 points. And the first thing they're going to want to do on the first candle is cover their positions. And it's all retail. There's no funds in this. It's a retail play. And if you look, you see how the retail, that's 11,000 shares on a spike. That means that's probably 7, 8 day traders, about 500 shares each, and they're all going to want to cover it, at the open. And so what I do is I anticipate that. So it helps the trader get the absolute best price on the stock to short. So I was looking for a pop at the open, and I was very specific on this one. I wanted 120, but give it room to 122 in case I got a little bit aggressive on the short sellers in here trying to get in. Because obviously if I'm going to put out a short, everyone in the chat room is going to try to make a move on it. And so I gave it 120 as a starter, room to 122, have an average, and then I wanted to do an all-day fader. And an all-day fader is where the stock will just gradually just come down throughout the day. And you don't have to babysit it. You don't have to massage it. You just let it just do what it's supposed to do, and that is come down. And as you can see, the stock started at 120, hit 120.07. And again, please, I'm very transparent in the way I trade. I don't change the notes. It is what it is. And I was very clear that the stock would hit 120 to 122 and then fade to 115 and under. So you were at least guaranteed pretty much a 5 point on the trade. And as you look how the trades got set up, the stock ended up going all the way to $109 a share. So that's an 11-point short on that stock right there. Okay, so it was a very, very nice play. The next trade that caught my eye was Netflix. I love Netflix, and why do I love it? Because it gives a lot of range for our chat room, especially for our room. It gives option traders a lot of opportunity also to get in there on the option side and play the puts or the calls, depending what we're looking at. Well, today we had the market actually gapping up, which made Netflix, for the most part, gap up about, I believe it was, if you look yesterday's close, and this is what I look at. I look where it closed and the gap up. When I get a gap up, I like to also, you moderators in other chat rooms, you need to take notes now. This is where you take notes to sound important to your members because you don't know what the heck you're doing. So I'm going to kind of teach you here, okay? So you can keep your subscribers. Okay, so right here, I got a gap up. When I get a gap up, I'm already knowing at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning that this stock's going to pop right at the open. Unless the market's pulling 200 points, I kind of got to adjust feeling that this is going to pop. And so what I do is I guide the traders, not so much in the long side of it, but I'm preparing them to short the stock. And I'm preparing the option players to play the puts. And I want you to look how this call is laid out for everyone in the chat room. Okay? And it's right here, Netflix. Okay? So Netflix is gapping up. I would like a small pop at the open to 298 to 300. When it hits that, I'm going to be looking at a sell-off to around 285. Okay? So that told everyone in the chat room, okay, he's looking for a quick pop. Once it hits 298, 299, 300, I can start scaling in and take that thing short. And I could do equity-wise, 250 shares, and he's thinking it's going to drop at least 10 points. So I'll make $2,500 on the trade, or I can play the puts and buy the 290 puts. All right. So now let's trade it out. Now this was all predicted pre-market at 5:50 in the morning. I wrote this one. I started at the bottom, Roku, and then I started here, and I just started moving upwards. Okay. So this was all well written and scripted for everyone in Awesome Calls Trading. So now let's execute the trade. Ding, 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 ding. Here is the push out of the gate, as you can see. Ding, 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 ding. So if you went long at 295, guess what? It hit 299. Now, if you take 298 and 300, what is in the middle? 299. So I basically predicted it would hit 299 to the penny, and then I said it would come down. Now watch how it comes down. Ding, 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 ding. Pop, short, came down. See the 290 and 289. So what you have in the end is you have a bunch of great day traders in our great room that execute the trade, and I'll show you an example. A trader right here, I believe his name is Chad, and he's in, I believe, South Africa with his family. This is Chad, and this is a trade he executed in the option room and in our room. And there's he bought him at 5 and sold him at 375. And there's the time. And the stock actually went lower. He could probably doubled his money and made 100% return, but he had to leave to go be with his children. It's a perfect example of playing equity and or the option side. So the puts on it. And there it goes, and so forth. So I'm still looking for a stock to 285. The market pulls. I'll be an overnight buyer on that one. So, all right. So that was Netflix. The next stock that we did that I thought was very, very cool to play was a stock called AAP. This is AAP. Now, auto parts had really, really terrific earnings. Now, again, for you chat room owners that really don't know what you're doing, had your chat room open for a year or two, you're trying to figure out how to find plays to keep your people happy, since you charge them only $67 or $90 or whatever. I'm going to show you how this one works, okay? You have to write this down. So everyone, even newbies, you can write this one down as well. Whenever auto parts store has they do well on earnings, you typically get a squeeze. Regardless if it's up 8, 10, or 12 points, you get an automatic squeeze out of the gate. It is typically what auto parts does. That's how they trade. That's what they look for. That's what they do. And so what I was trying to do was to inform everyone in the room that in pre-market, I would go long the stock in pre-market off of 175 and let the stock just run to, I believe I was saying 182 on it, and look for a squeeze. And it gave an opportunity for traders to make money in pre-market. And if you look at my notes right here on auto parts, is our number 10 pick. I like a little bit more squeeze at the open to 182 plus, top it off, and then look for a 5 to 7 point pullback on the stock. And that's it. That was the setup. So if you followed my lead and you went long, and you got 182. Actually, it went to 186 on a fat finger, and you were able to get that, and you shorted right here around 184, and I said it would come down 5 to 7 points. So let's count together. Pop at the open, so you made money pre-market. Let's say you didn't want to short it, but you wanted to go long, so you bought it at 175 down here, pre-market, 177, 175. The stock gave you an 8 to 10 point move to the upside. Now I'm waiting for a downside pull for you. So let's count. All right, so 180, let's just take 185. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7. Okay, did you follow that? $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, and you cover. What did the pre-market note say? The pre-market note said you would get 5 to 7 points. Now I know you're looking at this and just in awe right now, and that's kind of what our room is. You know, everybody privileged to be able to trade in here. This is what they get. I don't give this stuff free on Twitter, all right, and I never would. But stuff like this is what the room pays for, okay? And they got exactly what I told them they would get: a pop to the upside and a pull down to the downside. Now, if you notice, I've been trading for 15 years, so I'm not saying that the stock is going to go crazy and yank all the way. I would like it to fill some sort of gap to 172, but once it started getting up through the 182, all I was looking for was the 5 to 7 point pull. If it had done 182, then the 7 points probably came in line closer to the 170, 172 I was looking for. But as you can see, the stock only came down to 178, and that's because it had a massive push at the open. Okay, so that was AAP. The next stock that I want to, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we have one more to do. I'm going to show you a stock called, I'm going to do XLNX. All right, XLNX. And I'm going to show you this stock. This was an upgrade this morning, and I made the decision that this stock would probably have a nice move in it. So what I did is, you see, the stock had closed here, got an upgrade, and I believe the upgrade was from, I'll show you on our list. XLNX was from Susquehanna. They had a positive rating, and they upped it to 95 to 82, from 82 to 95. So I liked it. It caught my attention, had wide range. So what I was looking for was the stock to hit 85 today. But I wanted a quick pop at the open and a pull back to the 83 area, possibly under, bottom curl, and go long to 85. So I saw 85 written all over it. I just needed to gap fill and pull down first, hit the 83 area, and go long, and then we can go to 85. So I want you to see how this setup worked. Here's XLNX, and again, I did the research to say, I came over here on my scanners, and I looked, and there it is. So you can actually see how I found it. And there, right underneath there, is the price target increase from $95. EB77 back, first day in the room. I have to say that I'm very impressed. I did not trade today. However, after seeing the accuracy of today and the last few days in the archives, I will be trading tomorrow. Thanks for the excellent work. Thank you. I know, traders, you don't see the comment just made in the chat room, but a person just wrote that, and I'm copying and pasting it for the chat room. Thank you very much, EB777 back. So there's the increase to $82 to $95, right? So how do you trade it now? Well, you got to get it set up first. So here is the gap. As you can see, I'm all about gaps. So I want to fill it first. I'm looking for 83 and under, and it hit 83.31. You could see it bounced, found its bottom there. I told the chat room it's okay to go long, and as you can see, I was looking for 85 to 86 on the stock, and you can see the stock hit $85. Okay, XLNX. So those are the 7 charts we're going to do: VXTX, ABMD, Roku, Sage, Netflix, AAP, XLNX. And I will share one more, but I probably won't do the chart on it. The stock is called Vary. Now, Verity is a piece of crap junk stock. It's just junk. Nothing but junk. Okay? And so I made the decision that any pop on earnings is a short and nothing more. Short, short, short. And if you read my notes very carefully on Very, it was our number 2 pick in the room, I believe. 2 or 3, yeah. Gapping up 2 1/4. This is nothing more than a short back to 7 and under. If it yanks to 7 and under, watch the bottom curl and you could take some long if it bounces 1 to 1.5 points. But in the end, this is nothing more than a short. Okay? And you can see how that just played out perfectly to a short right here. And if you took it at short 840, 7 and under, boom. There is one chart I would like to put. I didn't even see that I did not add this one. So I'm going to probably substitute ABMD off and put this one up because this was a true winner in the room, especially for my friend Sean. So I'm going to, I'll keep AMD, but I'll probably pull Roku off because I think this is a really important one here. AMIT. This one caught my eye. I was going to this stock tickers on CNBC, and in the morning I saw this gap up here on very little shares. You can see the gap here. I spotted it. Boom. I went, okay. So I have room probably to come back around there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to gap fill it first. So I'm going to call for a short, fill the gap, and then I'm going to call for a long all the way back up. It was a kind of a gutsy call, and but I saw it. It was like it all materialized in my head before the market even opened. I'm like, oh, I got this. And as you can see, watch how I wrote it down on AIMT. That stock was right here, number 5. So I wrote it, and I was like, stop gapping up 2. I like to see this small little pop. I want to go to 28.25 and under. I want to bottom curl it, and I want to take it to 30. Again, it's a gutsy call because there was no upgrades, downgrades. It was just up. It was just up. So I wanted to create the trade. And this is my challenge as a day trader. This is what makes me who I am so different from everyone else. I will literally take a trade from nothing and just materialize it in front of hundreds of traders in the morning. And this is what makes this so special. So I want you to take a look at this setup that I saw and see how it traded out. Okay, you ready? So let's take a look. So here it is. Here's the gap fill. Now I want to go to 28.25 and under. I want the bottom curl. So I want it to find bottom, which it pretty much did around the 27.75 area. And I wanted to curl it back up. So even if you started at 28 or 28.25, it allowed you to add a little bit more. Scaling is important. But I want you to look where the stock double topped. It went all the way back up to $29.50. Now I wanted 30, but you know what? It's an effortless trade. It made you 1.5. Didn't have much buying power. You didn't need much. 500 shares, 10,000 buying power. 250 shares would have been 5,000 buying power, and you would have made 1.5 on the trade. Do you know what it's like to make money every day in a room that guides you step by step? This was a perfect setup for everyone in the room. Okay, so that stock was called AIMT. And those are today's recaps today. I really want to thank you for joining us, and I hope to see you tomorrow and trade with us. I will have another, again, I usually do 12 ideas minimum, top 10, and then I have some notables. And then, so I usually provide about 12 ideas for traders every day. So this way I have a variety of traders trading $11 stock, $6 stock, 12, 18, 20, 60, 90, 100. Range for everyone. Get to play anything you want. You could buy puts or calls on it. So, but thank you so much for joining us. All you have to do is follow my feed, AJ Trader 7. If you want to hook up to the room, all you have to do is just go over here, and any one of our tags here, it says Awesomecalls Trading, just click it and you log in. You could come in for a day, a week, or a month. And of course, here's the website right there in itself. So we'll take good care of you. All right. So thank you for giving us an opportunity. Thank you for listening. And I look forward to trading with you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.